Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio Works World. This is your show host, Sunny, broadcasting from Great Britain. Today, we're going to be looking at success. How do you measure your success? And seeing a social change in how success is viewed and where it's coming from and where it's going to. So, personal success, how do we measure that? Often it's measured by how much we're earning, our status, our aspirations, and there seems to be a conscious shift, an energetic shift of more and more people taking stock of where they are and the impact of chasing success on their lives. Some people are experiencing health issues. Some people are experiencing relationship difficulties, and more people are being forced to make changes in their lifestyle, in their relationships, such as spending more time with their children, spending more time relaxing, and actually taking care of their health. The energy aspect of this is very significant because it seems to be the more people I am working with who come to me with what appears to be a physical ailment or a psychological discontent or an emotional discontent, when we've gone to the root of the matter, it seems to stem from the expectations that have been put there beforehand and how the expectations have had to shift and certain changes in lifestyle have had to shift to create a different kind of energy in their day-to-day living. This is also something I'm very passionate about because a lot of the times we're unaware of how this is impacting our children. And when we become conscious of how fast we are intending our expectations to occur, and just taking stock of what our expectations are and where they're coming from. So we're modeling for our children and for ourselves and for our peers and for our family members, our friends, of what is acceptable. We're also receiving messages of what is being modelled to us as what is success. So exploring success on a personal level, for me, the last few years has had to change significantly. My initial aspects I focused on about success were very different to when I was married, very different to when I became a parent, and very different to when I lived in different countries. So when I lived in Canada, my expectations of my success were different to when I lived in China. My expectations of my success were different to when I moved to London. It's when I moved to London that I lost track of what success means, and I allowed my energy, my values, and my opinions of success to be changed. Not aware of it consciously, but I allowed that to happen. And it was at that point that I realized, when it was a little too late and I experienced burnout, that I had to stop and reassess what success ultimately meant to me. That meant I had to change my job. That meant I had to pull in all the tools and all the experience from my past to heal myself. And it also meant I had to recalibrate with my family, my husband and my daughter. I had to recalibrate my friendships and external family, and essentially take new responsibility of my life. And it's from that process that I'm able to see now people around me who seem to be in a cycle of knowing deep down, you can see it in their expressions, in the words they're using, that they know deep down something is amiss, something is not in alignment with the truth of what they want from life or what they feel is ideal in their life. But it's when we get entangled with social expectations and we're presented with this possibility and that possibility that we tend to get lost, and our own perception of success gets lost and mutates and morphs into something that's not even recognizable anymore. And the shocking aspect to me was when I looked back and reflected on certain pivotal points in my life and on my journey, that in hindsight, everybody is aware. But at that point, I was so involved and engrossed in getting to a certain level of success that everything else was just a blur. And that's why today I want to bring it to you to question, is there something within you that's feeling that you want to readdress, you want to reassess, you want to have your life looking in a different way? Do you feel like you've stepped off your track and onto someone else's track? And ultimately, there may be a materialistic goal, there may be a certain lifestyle expectation that you're aiming for, but is this the actual path that's going to get you to it? And what is at stake? Because sometimes we feel and want and need certain things, but then when we measure it out with what's at stake, sometimes it's not actually worth the energy input required and what can be lost in the process. So looking at how your health is, are you successful in your health? Is your health at the optimal level it could be? Are your relationships around you resembling what you really truly desire? Are you living the lifestyle that you want? Which aspects of the lifestyle that you want are realistic? Or is it simply that there's a few more steps required to get to that level that you want, that lifestyle that you want? Energetically, are you forcing yourself forward, or are you in a flow and moving forward with all expectations, with your ultimate goal in view, but having a balance of everything around you there too? If you have children, if you're married, is that all balanced? Are you pushing your child aside? Are you pushing your spouse aside? Are you pushing yourself aside? Where's your self-love coming into all this? Is your self-care, your self-love in alignment with your idea of success? So in thinking about today's show, today's broadcast, kind of got success and then many branches of coming off and many different areas we can actually delve into success. But for the purpose of today, just bringing it back to the self, bringing it back to you, questioning again, what did your idea of success look like 10 years ago? What did it look like 5 years ago? What did it look like last week? What did it look like yesterday? And what does it look like today? Where are the changes you would like to make? Where are the changes you would like to make, but you're not sure how to make them? Are there any changes you'd like to make, but not sure how to make them? And this is where the energetic healing, the energetic cord cutting processes come in. Because when we look at expectations, and if we free ourselves of the expectations, the clarity of our steps forward seem to come in a lot easier. When we look around and we see what the impact of our need for success and our journey to success has on our family, sometimes it's good to reevaluate and see, is it worth it? If you're on a great trajectory of success, then well done. Because it seems to be there's more and more people who are even going from leaving the corporate world in the attempt of changing their lifestyle, and then from observation and certain conversations and even clients that have come to me, seeing that they've carried certain behavior patterns, they've carried certain expectations that they used to have from an employee into their new business they're starting, into new ventures, into new projects. So it's now about going into the energetic construct of the self to start detaching from past expectations of the self, past expectations from, it could be parents, it could be social expectations, it could be seeking a certain status, and energetically breaking those ties, emptying ourselves of all the things that are not in alignment with our purpose, not in alignment with our true heart desired perception of success. Bringing it back to feeling what is important, feeling in 10, 20 years' time, what do you want to be achieving? What do you have as your ultimate goal? What is on your priority list? Who is on your priority list? It isn't an easy process, because it means we have to not only dismantle a lot of what we have built up and put so much time and effort into building up, it also means we have to let go of beliefs that we've had, we have to let go of perceptions that we've had, and sometimes that does require support. It does require a certain level of courage to go there. The alternative is to keep going in a direction that is not physically sustainable, it's not emotionally sustainable, and time-wise, it is becoming more and more intense, more is expected of us. So I'm not saying it's an easy process. I'm saying help is available. I'm saying if there's something within that is calling out to you that something needs to change, it may be a good idea to just stop and take stock of that and look deeper into it. Look at, is it known to you what needs to be changed? Is it that it's a feeling and that feeling is anonymous at the moment, but it keeps consistently coming up? Are you feeling exhausted from just trying to sustain that perception, that vision of success? And in trying to sustain that, not allowing the reality of it to come through. It's difficult also when we're living in a society that is pushing us to want more, to do more, to do it faster, more efficiently, and where there are people who are presenting quick fixes, presenting higher levels of achievement that are possible, but then it's also being aware that your personal definition, interpretation of success is where we must start. From that point, then you can see and navigate which way to go, what has to be released and cleared, what has to be changed, what needs to be brought in, what needs to be healed. We certainly have things that everybody is aware of, that we have certain things that come from our childhood and how that has played out now. And it's not always obvious. Usually when there's a problem or a issue coming up, we claim it's childhood issue or it's ancestral or it's karmic imprints. It's not until that we go into the energy of it, into the background of it, into the actual root cause of it, that reveals how those changes can actually be made also. And by clearing that, we can create the space for the changes to occur. So by finding the root cause, that also is a process that's not always easy, because it may not be obvious. It may be something that you saw when you were 3 years old, or something that's been instilled in you by peer groups or cultural conditioning, social conditioning, and it just becomes a norm. And then how is it possible for us to identify what appears to be normal? That's when usually an external perception helps, an external vision of navigating with you, alongside you, in a supportive manner, helps you just support you, create that space and that time for you to let go of the expectations and let go of having to be in this state of achieve and grasping and seeking, and just to be able to sit still and actually listen to what your heart is asking you to hear, to listen to what your soul requires. Listen and reflect on the conversations that you've been having with your child, listening to the conversations you've been having with your parents, your spouse, your friends, your co-workers, your work environment, your employees, yourself. What is your perception of success? Being here today, I have myself achieved a certain level of success. And now it is a part of me integrating this achievement to accumulate and weave into other goals that I have. But understanding now that first and foremost, my health, I need to be successful there first. My self-love, I need to sustain that success. My relationship with my daughter, my relationship with my husband, that is an essential aspect of my life where I need to sustain the success. Everything else has to fit in around that. When that foundation is stronger, when that foundation is set, when that foundation is felt in your heart, everything else will just come in and it'll be clear, it will feel good, and it will naturally grow organically. And you will redefine your success. And it may look pretty much with what you have now. I don't know you, but it may look pretty much how you are now, what you have now. It may look very different. it may be that you haven't even thought about what do you really want and what does success really mean. I hope that was of use to you. Hope that's got some thoughts starting to surface around what's really important. What does success really mean to you? What is your vision of success? Thank you. This has been Sunny on Radio Works World. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.